You've been there, right? You're staring at a curriculum standard, just a single sentence, and thinking, okay, how do I turn this into a lesson my students will actually get? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're taking on a super important skill, handwriting. We are going to turn a standard into a practical, powerful lesson you can use in your classroom tomorrow. Let's dive in.
Seriously, this is the big question. Bringing a standard to life is where the real magic of teaching happens. It's all about moving from just knowing what to teach to knowing how to teach it effectively. And that's our focus for this explainer. And hey, the good news is we're not starting from scratch. We have two incredible resources to guide us. Over here, we've got the strategy card. This is our playbook, our step-by-step teaching routine. And on the other side, we have the evidence document. This thing is gold. It tells us exactly what mastery looks like. Together, these two are our roadmap. So here's our game plan. First, we'll decode the standard itself. Then, we'll jump into planning using our two key resources. After that, we'll walk through the core teaching routine, talk about how to support every single student, show you what to look for as evidence of learning, and then get you ready to take it into your own classroom. All right, first things first. Before we can teach anything, we have to get crystal clear on our target. What are we actually asking our students to do? So here it is, the official standard, K2.F.H.1. Use fine motor skills to form legible letters and words in print. It sounds simple, but there's a lot packed in there, right? It's about the physical movement, the fine motor part, and the final product, making sure it's legible. Now, to make this real for our kids, we need to translate it into a student-friendly learning target. For our kindergartners today, it becomes this simple, powerful I can statement. I can form my letters correctly. That's the goal. That's what we want every kid walking out of the room able to say. And what's really cool is seeing how this one skill grows. In kindergarten, our whole world is just correct formation, learning the right path for each letter. Then in first grade, we level up to accuracy and consistency. By second grade, we're focused on efficiency and spacing, which, is what real fluent writing is all about. It's such a clear and logical path. Okay, we get the standard. Now, let's plan the lesson. And this is where we're going to lean heavily on our evidence document because it tells us exactly what success looks like. The evidence document is our cheat sheet for assessment. It tells us we're not just looking for a letter that kind of looks like an M. Nope, we're looking for specific evidence. Are they using the right motor plan? Are they starting their letters at the top? This one is huge. How is their spacing? Is the size and shape consistent? These become our specific look-fors during the lesson. And this slide just makes it so clear. Look at the left. That's our goal. That's acceptable evidence. The M starts at the midline. It's got the two nice humps, and it rests on the baseline. Now, look to the right. A student might make this shape by starting from the bottom and going up. It might look like an M, but the process, that motor plan, is wrong. And that's what we have to catch and correct. So we've got our plan. We know what to look for. It is time to teach. Let's grab our strategy card and see how we can bring this to life with a really engaging, multi-sensory routine. The heart of our lesson is this simple three-step routine. We start big and get smaller to really lock in that muscle memory. First, we skywrite, using our whole arm to feel the letters shape in the air. Then, we bring it down to the table, maybe tracing it on the desk with our finger. And finally, we take it to the paper with a pencil. It's a fantastic progression that really works. We always teach this using a gradual release, starting with the I do. This is my turn, the teacher's turn. I'm modeling exactly what to do, and just as importantly, I'm thinking aloud. My students, their only job right now is to watch and listen. And my language is super explicit. It's precise. It sounds just like this. Okay, friends, watch my hand. We're going to write the letter M. First, I start on the midline and pull straight down to the baseline. Then, without picking up my pencil, I ride back up to the midline, make one hump to the baseline, ride back up to the midline, and make a second hump to the baseline. M says, Now we move into the we do. It's our turn to do it together. I love using a choral response here, so I'll say the steps and they'll say them with me. As we all skywrite together, then as we all trace on the table together. We are literally building that collective muscle memory in the room. And finally, we get to the you do. Now it's their turn to practice on their own whiteboard or on a piece of paper. My job right now is to be on my feet, walking around, watching, and giving that immediate, specific feedback based on the look-fors we already defined. But as we all know, a one-size-fits-all approach doesn't work. Our classrooms are full of different learners, so how do we make sure we're supporting every single writer?
Well, our resources give us some great, easy-to-implement ideas. For my kids who need more sensory feedback, let's break out the shaving cream or a sand tray for that table writing step. For students who need more visual support, I can have them trace over a letter I wrote in highlighter or connect dotted letters. And for everyone, a quick fine motor warm-up using things like stress balls or tweezers can make a huge difference.
So, as the students are practicing, my role changes from instructor to assessor. I am on the lookout for evidence of mastery, and, crucially, I'm ready to jump in and correct any errors right when they happen. And how we correct is everything. Let's say I see a student making an M with 3 humps. I'm not going to just say, that's wrong. I'm going to get down on their level and say something supportive like, wow, great try. The letter M is a tricky one. It only has 2 humps. Let's do it together. Watch my hand and listen while I say the steps. And then I'll remodel it right there for them. Positive and immediate. To wrap things up, I'll use a super quick exit ticket. I'll just ask them to write the letter M one last time on a sticky note. As I collect them, I've got my mental checklist ready to go. Did they start at the midline? Check. 2 humps? Check. Does it sit on the baseline? Check. No extra lines? Check. This gives me a snapshot of who's got it and who might need a little more help tomorrow. So there you have it. We've gone from a single standard to a full-blown lesson plan, complete with a teaching routine, differentiation, and assessment. We unpacked it, we planned it, we modeled it. Now it's your turn.
I want you to think about how you can take this exact process into your classroom. Look ahead at your scope and sequence. Maybe you have letters like P, B, and R coming up, the diver letters. You can use this same multisensory routine to teach them. So the question I want to leave you with is this. What's one letter family you're going to practice with this routine next week? Thanks for watching.